everyone, this is James from TDB bringing on another Inbetweenisode. Despite what you are seeing in front of me, this is going to be a non-drinking Inbetweenisode, going to be talking a bit about, what I may have overly dramatically called kind of the wilderness years, for myself at least. So anyone that is watching this video, well, not everyone, but a lot of people watching this are probably hobbyists in some sense, where you have a series of interests or hobbies, and for a lot of people, myself included, tea is one of them. And, these things ebb and flow through the season. Sometimes it burns brighter. Other times, a hobby could get a little bit out of fashion or out of favor for a particular time. And sometimes they will go in and out. There'll be natural ebbs and flows. And for me, at least, tea is one of those things, too. I think when I think back, TDB started something like 13, 14 years ago. I've been interested in tea for probably a year or so, longer than that. And, when you are first getting started, especially, that hobby, that passion burns very, very bright in terms of interest in trying new stuff. Some people this lasts for a while, and others people's it lasts a shorter time. Like some people will burn out very, very quickly. You can witness this sometimes in real time in Discord, where you see someone very eager to try a bunch of stuff, and then a week later they're gone. So everyone doesn't necessarily last forever, but I do think tea is a hobby that you can have some real serious longevity there. And for me, at least, when I first got started, I was I burned pretty bright for quite a while. And then at a certain point, I did start to get a little burnt out. And so you could see sort of the content changing at different points. And so I think even a little bit before the pandemic in something like 2019, I think I was a little bit losing a little bit of interest at that time. And so, such things are replaced with other hobbies and interests. And so the pandemic really, really tamped down tea for me to some extent. So you probably saw the blog stop, things like that, whereas the blog is recently restarted in, I think, the end of 2024 or 2025. And that's for a lot of reasons, some health reasons too. I was having some big kind of tennis elbow issues at the time that have since been, I think, mostly solved. And I was just getting different interests at the time. So I got back into films, which has always been an interest of mine, but kind of poured myself into a couple different genre cinemas. So some Cantonese genre cinema in the 60s to 80s, Italian stuff, things like that. And so tea just kind of took a back burner. I mean, I still made Inbetweenisode. I still made normal episodes with Denny when we could during the pandemic. So definitely was still happening. I was still definitely interested, but I think I was a lot less interested than I had been probably 4 or 5 years previously. And so what kind of drew me back in was, I went to Taiwan, and it's just fun to traverse around there. It's also nice to meet a person like Alex, just see someone like we sat down at a tea house, and I feel like I just watched him sort of lock into the tea in a way that is like, oh, I haven't had this in a while, even though I had tea with different people and whatnot. And so it kind of inspired me in a way to just be like, maybe there's something there. I'm in a little bit of a better financial spot than I was 5 or 6 years ago too. It's been a lot of fun to just come back in and to continue to explore and re-explore some of the things that I did earlier. And it's just a different set of people. I also think it's just fun to simply spend money on something you care about if you can do so responsibly. And that's something that I have also done a little bit more in the past couple of years too. It's been interesting to kind of go in and out of tea and just see the different generations and some of the similarities and differences of people that have come into the hobby more recently. And so that's been one of the other pleasures of the last couple of years, is just kind of getting acquainted with a different set of tea friends. People that have come over for tea and whatnot started to happen more frequently, kind of as it did for me 10 years ago or so. And so it's been nice to host different people, try different teas, and just continue to explore. Tea is nice because it's such a big topic, and people are going to focus on different things, different brands. I'm very focused on Pu'er. That's one thing I've realized about myself, is that is where kind of my core interests lie. But even within Pu'er, there's just so much different variety and so many things to explore. That concludes thoughts. This, of course, is an article as well on tdb.org. So go ahead, check that article out too, where I kind of explore those things in a little bit more depth. I think it's important to kind of take a step back and understand sort of the perspective of kind of the hobby as a whole. We aren't going to, especially if you are newish to tea and in that exploration phase, that's not going to last forever. That's not a depressing thing necessarily. But you will enter different phases in your tea drinking, and you might get a little bit out of tea at different points and fall back into it too. Tea is nice because you can approach it in a lot of different ways, and there's a lot of space in this tea hobby for people that are just using it for a simple caffeine fix, to people that are appreciating it more kind of on the weekends or whatnot. So not describing that particularly well, but I think you know what I mean. So thank you all for tuning in. Let me know how you like this episode. Let me know if you have any thoughts, and I will see you all next time. Cheers.